Satnam. Satnam. This is Shiv and I am naked in the shower. That's right, look, here's my little shower puff. Naked in the shower. I'm in the shower because Josie! You know, if the universe could have sent an angel tonight, it would have been you, Josie. My heart's absolutely, I just put my hand here and my heart's absolutely pounding, which is quite funny really, isn't it? Because I've got nearly 700 videos on YouTube. I'm used to standing in front of the video camera, but I wanted to share tonight, and I wanted to do it live because, well, just in the interest of, thank you, babe, in the interest of vulnerability, of I'm coming here and I'm sharing, you know, you're stronger than you think and you just got to take the next step, and universe has a plan. And it's true. Every word is true. And on the flip side of it, are times like today when details don't really matter, but somehow you feel that, for me it's certainty. So I may say overwhelm, but yeah, I like certainty. So for one that's so free, it's such a contradiction, that I do like some certainty, and when that's gone, everything's shifting sands, and that's been gone for quite a while with us now, and we seem to have ever shifting sands, and sometimes just when you think you're getting going and you get another wave comes in, and I like to say it's not all sunshine and roses. But show me a life that is, because, well, when would the roses seed? And so the reason that I'm sharing tonight is just to say that, you know, that it's not Facebook and YouTube and the whole internet, the whole fake virtual world can be edited and it can be filtered and it can just look so glamorous and so lovely. And so you may have the idea that I'm just this little fairy running through the woods with not a care in the world. Maybe some days. But it has a high price. And it requires some really... I didn't expect to cry. I mean, I expect to cry, but not like this. You can have a high price, a high dowry, choosing this kind of life, and then choosing a business model where I just truly believe that I need to share the thing that helped me the most without charge. It all feels quite a conundrum at times. So what to do? Well, the first thing is, don't push it down. So my coping mechanism would be to numb it out. Put on the TV, get on a movie, something, find something to eat, get my hands busy, eat, make myself feel like, not so good. That feels nice and secure in some really fucked up way. Sorry, Josie, I feel like I'm swearing in front of my mum. And that's where I would go. And of course, the reason I'd be there is because I'm feeling low. And the one thing I know about the bottom of the cookie packet or whatever your chosen thing is it doesn't get any better down there. In fact, it just leaves a heavier price behind. So now you can hate yourself even more in the morning for the bag that you can see in the trash from the night before that was new, one opened when you brought it home from the supermarket at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Yeah, that one. So that's my go-to. And I've tried really hard the past 3 years to try and keep myself straight. And last year I got a bit lost, and so in my videos I can see it. I'm 20 pounds heavier. It's not about the weight, it's about how I feel and what that weight means to me. And so that would be my go-to right now. And instead of going to the cookie jar, I guess I just realised, instead of going to the cookie jar, I came here to you. So maybe now you're my new coping mechanism. Oh Lord, please, I'm not coming here every time I'm upset. But I do think that it's important to share. So what do you do? The first thing is not to push it down. So the reason I'm here and the reason I'm crying and letting you see that, it might shock you to know that I personally didn't cry as a human being until I was 34. I thought crying was a sign of weakness, and I didn't want to be seen as weak. So I didn't cry. And then I learned then, once I started crying, I couldn't bloody stop. It was quite the thing. And now I realise it's like a pressure cooker. So those feelings inside of me that were building up, if I don't feel them, hey, sat down, naked in the shower, crying. If those feelings that we have, if we don't deal with them, and if we do push them down, then they're just going to bubble up. They're just going to, at some point, they're going to be, I came across something in my journal the other day that said that memories that are not released, memories never die. They just come back in different shoes, memories and pain. You know, I wish I could see what you're saying. And this is true. So we can't push them down. You've got to deal with them. Otherwise they get left like shipwrecks. So we've got these shipwrecks of pain that we're leaving all over our ocean, right? Our ocean of life. We're just leaving all these shipwrecks. So we've got to really start to learn to not use that coping mechanism that we normally use. And for those of us that have a challenge with food and weight, that would generally be food and alcohol and numbing out. So so first of all, don't numb out. Is that numb? And don't numb out because that's just going to make you feel worse, right? So each day, even today, when I go to bed, I've kept up my fasting and my feasting that I'm doing, and I'm feeling good in my skin. So I can think of so many times when everything's been going so good and I don't feel good in my skin, and that feels like the worst to me. So I have that, and that's my keystone. That's my anchor that holds me. It's what gets me through these like stormy times, and I don't see my tears as weak anymore. I see them as very human, and I like being a human. I really do. I like it much more than the human doing that I used to be. The very successful human doing. I much prefer the human being now that will cry and does sometimes feel like earlier today. I literally felt like I didn't have any words for how I felt, and I just didn't have any words. I just felt maybe. Then after that came you're stupid, you're pathetic. How could you think you could do any of this? Who do you think you are? And that's when I know too, that's the next step to stop that voice. Because it's not true. It's not true for any of us. But we take it on as our truth. And it's a really hard package to discard. So that's our second warning. So if your cookie jar and your packet's empty and you didn't see that warning, then your next warning is the voice, right? The one that's telling you how pathetic you are and how stupid you are. I'm glad you like that one. That's another trigger that can bring you back if you think about mindfulness and the triggers that we use. So that would be a trigger for you to be like, ooh, hold on a minute. Something's got a hold of me. And guess what it is? It's a feeling. A feeling's got a hold of you and it wants to be felt. And it can't be felt while you've got that voice jabbering on. It can't be felt at the bottom of a cookie jar. So what can you do? The next thing you do is you can sit down and do some yoga. And I tell you, if you do that, it really does make you feel fantastic. The challenge is there's something really fucked up about feeling not good because you don't actually do the things you're supposed to do, right? So I know that yesterday I got up and I shared the yoga, you know, because I'm really trying, like I said, I'm really trying to do, if it was someone else and I'm coaching them, I'm really trying to do what I would be telling them to do. The things I would be telling them, we can't control everything, but we can control some things. What are the things that are in your control are you controlling? And what are the things that are out of your control are you trying to control? And if you just get a grasp of that, you're going to feel more in control. Because of course we're never in control anyway, so it's all just a myth. It's all just an absolute illusion that we could ever be in control. But we do like to think that we are. Tears obviously is a very good sign that maybe everything's just got to be a bit too much. So instead of taking your tears as a sign of weakness and that you're not strong enough, you take your tears as a sign of your body saying, I'm over spilling. I've got too much and I've got to let it out. It can also be, tears for me can also be all the unspoken words and feelings that I have can sometimes tumble out onto my cheeks in the form of tears, and I don't know what they are and I don't know what they had to say, but they've now gone on their way and left a little salt trail down my cheek. And at the end of a good crying session, you can feel like you haven't got quite as much, there's not quite as much left inside and the pressure's not as high, like my voice, and you've just let off a little bit of pressure. The next thing is to realise there's nothing that's going to make it better. So even if you didn't do your yoga, there's absolutely nothing that will make it better. But there's something that will make it feel a little bit better. And that's the difference. It's not going to make it all better, but it'll make it feel a little bit better. So you got to try and do something that you can hang on to at the end of the day, something keystone that you can say, no matter what else fucked up, no matter what else I did wrong, no matter how stupid I feel, at least I did this, right? And that's like what we teach and get back. It's the habits, and that's why it's so key to me, because at times like this, like I said, my fasting and feasting habit is what's keeping me going. Is what's keeping me at least partly right with myself, because the voice right now is really loud, and she knows me so well. So, and I kind of believe her. You know, I can tell you that it's not true, but I do kind of believe her. And sometimes I look around and I think the evidence supports it. And of course, other times I look around and it doesn't. It's all an illusion. And then that's the other side. There's the very analytical, the lawyer, the certainty side of me. And then there's the like, universe has a plan, and take the next step and be in trust and do what you can. And between the two, my life flows. So there are days when I can't believe how amazing I feel just being alive under the blue sky. I'm not anywhere special, I'm not doing anything special, it's just little me approaching her 50th birthday, feeling good in her skin and enjoying the life and people that she's around that she never thought was possible. That's some days, that's most days for me now, honestly. And then there are days like this. And for all of us, there are days that are, some days are sunshine, and some days are rain, and some days are rainbows. The question is, how much sunshine do we get in proportion to our rainbows and our rain? Are we living in a cold climate, and do we need to move to a sunnier one so that we can have a little more sunshine and a little less rain? And what tools and strategies can we pick up along the way that can make these storms just a little more bearable and make our ships get through them? And like I said, for me, it is Kundalini. You know, it's my meditation, and my meditation, my mind, like watching my mind, it's what I'm doing with my fasting and feasting. Sure, I'm feeling better and I've released 17 pounds and I mention I feel better in my skin, but more than that, the gift that I'm getting from that is that I'm getting to really see how my mind works. And I thought I was pretty in tune with it. I've been doing 40-day practices, watching it for 17 years now, and that's the beauty of our mind. You know, our minds are, they know us, they know every nook and cranny. So we have to work really hard to master our mind, and they know every shortcut. And so, like I said, you'll find yourself at the end of the bag of the cookies, or then you'll find yourself with the voice calling you, or then you'll find yourself, you know, feeling the tears and then feeling weak again. All of these things that we do. And thank you for everyone who's joining. My little heart's like, it's beating so fast right now. I have no idea what I'm saying. And I just really feel in this fake book world that everything can just look so glossy, that it's important to say that sunshine and rain is natural. And I'm definitely have a lot more sunshine than I used to. I used to have a lot of rain and no sunshine, and a lot of grey skies, which is even worse than either of those. Today's just been a tough day, and I haven't gone to the cookie jar. I've come to you. So I've actually found a new tool today. Thank you for that. And I can't wait to read all your comments. If only I could see them. I keep trying to focus in, but I just can't quite see with the tears as well. And as the doctor says, my 50-year-old eyes. And that's the other thing. So as I'm feeling like this, another keystone I can hang on to is that this time last week I took the plunge. Thank you for the love. I took the plunge and took my blood test and did my eye test. And for about 2 years now, I've probably been a little concerned that maybe my eyes are not right. And my gran was blind, and my dad lost a lot of his sight. So I was really scared about that, and I have the bandwidth to deal with it, with the old teeth issue that I've been dealing with for 20 months. So last week I went and did that, and my eyes are fine. So this week I know my eyes are fine, and I had my blood test done. Also, you know, want to keep on with the checking for diabetes. I'm a sugar addict. Like I say, I can find myself at the bottom of a cookie bag very easily. So I wanted to check that. My dad had diabetes, and left us at 70. So lots going on. But I can hold on to those, and I can say I did that, right? So those 3 words, I did it. And that's the big thing, that when we're going through this, having at least something, some life raft, some anchor, that you can say, I did it, and just be real with people. You know, you don't always have to be fine, and you don't always have to be strong, and you don't always have to know that this too shall pass. Sometimes you just want to say, fuck off, when people say this too shall pass, right? Just fuck the fuck off. How about that? Because when you're in pain, you're in pain. You've got to deal with being in the pain, because if you do that, you can come through to the next part of it, which is like, what the fuck am I going to do now? Which I started that process tonight, and I started a couple of things, and now I'm here, and I've got some more work to do, so I should go back. But like I said, this really, the purpose of it, first of all, was to say, if you find yourself overwhelmed by your life, even if it's your choices, and sometimes you just feel like you're astray with no floor underneath you, you're not alone. And yes, it will pass, but while you're in it, it's okay to feel like shit, and it's okay to retreat, it's okay to go under a rock, it's okay to cry, it's okay to do all of those things, because you're going to come out on the other side, and you're going to then have to, then you got some renewed, some shift happens. There's an energetic shift, because it's all energy, right? So inside yourself, you've shifted it. And I hope that in some small way, my whining and crying on camera has just let someone else know that it's not so alone as you might think. And a lot of those people who you think have really, really got it together, yeah, they've got it together in the editing room. They've got it together in posting what they like, and they've got it together in posting. My favourites is in posting vulnerable shares. So that's what I'm saying now. Yeah, I'm here with a vulnerable share, but I don't know, there's some vulnerable shares out there that are just like smack of marketing. And I guess that's okay if that's your thing. But again, it's not necessarily real. So there's people following people and wondering why they can't do what they can do. And Leo says, fuck off. I can read that one. I can read fuck off. You know, and it's because these people oftentimes aren't doing it. It's not all fucking roses. And so there's thorns. Even in a bed of roses, there's thorns. And even if they don't share them with you, they're happening. Me, I've decided I'm fucking sharing them with you because that's what I want to do. And that's what I just did. Oh my God, I went live in the shower. All right, I'm fucking steaming hot here right now, actually. So I'm going to go and wash my face, pull up my socks, and keep my chin up. Oh, fuck all that as well. I'm going to do whatever I feel. I think I'm going to go make a yogi tea, get into my favourite pyjamas, and get on with a couple of hours work before we walk across the orchard and sleep in the tent. It's going to be a cold night. That'll keep my mind off it. I love you so much for joining me. I can't even tell you. Like, I really, really do. Thank you. And hey, if you want to share, like, how would you do when you fall apart? You don't have to fall apart on camera if you don't want to. If you do, that would be really awesome. Like, could we start like falling apart series on YouTube? Everyone's falling apart in the shower. That'd be kind of cool. All right.